think one of the things that needs to happen is more dialogue between black leaders on a landscape of incorporating people that are trying to get into their position. So you have all these panels and things of that nature, but I've been on a bunch of those panels, and I try to tell people my story. Coming from Brooklyn and basically out of nothing and being able to come into a situation, you know. But then people are lost. They're like, okay, you did it. How do I do it? And a lot of times you just got to give people the faith that they have to believe in themselves to find their own way too. Because you can't really just follow that person's path. That person's path is your enlightenment to know that it can be done.
We each have the power of a corporation. Like speaking of artists, that popular artists that are out now, you have enough money, you can take your chain and open a business. You know what I mean? You can take your bracelet and buy a projects. It's like, it makes me feel crazy when I read it, because I know that the power that we do have now, we're not really using it as effective as a small, town as Tulsa, Oklahoma, such a small town that has been outcasted by everything around it, but took that and said, you know what, it's cool, we're going to do what we have to do within here.
We talk about, mind on your money, money on your mind. If you don't think dollars, it don't make sense. So we've been, hip-hop always talks about, counting your paper, making your dough, I got these corners locked down. But do you really have them locked down? Are you paying taxes on them? Like, do you really want to lock the block down? Then invest in the block, put a business in the block. Like, they call me the mayor best, not because, my name don't ring bells in the streets, but as far as a business person, they go, there's a guy who's doing it, who's hiring people from the community. People know him. I'm known in the streets. On the positive, it ain't got to be a negative thing. And I'm about making my dollar, don't get me wrong, because I'm pushing this caffeine one cup at a time.
It's really about taking that money, taking that power, and educating these kids, starting real scholarship funds and following through with them so that we know that our kids are being educated. It's not so much they can put a ball into a hoop. We're going to do that regardless. So whether we have money or not, if we have hoop dreams, we're going to make that happen. But it's a matter of educating our young people. And if we have the money to give scholarships to those who are, less fortunate. I mean, one of the major reasons why a lot of us don't graduate is because, we get to that halfway point where we're a sophomore in college and we don't have the scholarship money, or mama needs money or whatever, and we leave. We leave school because we don't have the opportunities.
The most important thing that we can do as a people is ground level activism. I think that individuals like yourself who are just making small attempts, even if this documentary reaches 2, 3, 4, 5 people who get it, they're able to experience. The important thing is motion, that we need to do something, and you need to make an effort. And what people usually do is they tend to see the barriers in their way and they stop, instead of doing what they can, where they can. Every little bit helps, and you don't know how it's going to change somebody else's life.
It would be devastating to the whole country if the black people only spent within their environment, because we may be considered a minority, but the money is in vast amounts, and we earn a lot of money and we generate a lot of money. So whereas you have the Hasidic Jewish community who does that to this day. If they want to go to the hardware store, they go to a Hasidic Jewish hardware store. They want to go to a dry cleaner, same thing. They go to the Jewish dry cleaner, and they keep the money within a circle. So no matter what the economy as a whole is doing, whatever money is brought in from the outside is kept within that circle. So their economy within that circle continuously grows, and the Hasidic Jewish community, which is really a minority because they only have small sections, but they show that it works in its entirety because they'll go out and earn dollars, whether it's from African Americans, they'll make money from, Italian people, they make money from wherever. And when they bring it back into their community, it never comes out. And if it does, it's like small amounts. and they're not happy about that small amount that came out.
I remember my father, God rest his dead, he passed away. He used to run a place called Linden Plaza in Brooklyn. And when I was a kid, Linden Plaza was all Jewish. And it was nice. Swimming pools, everything. For some reason, it became all black. But see, the black people could have had the same thing. But instead of them having the same thing, they had no nepotism. And since they had no nepotism, that's why Linden Plaza is now just called a project. This is a place where you couldn't get into. Jews, you know, and they had townhouses and everything there. Now you go to Linden Plaza, just like a regular PJ.
You look at Jews and the way that they are able to work together and make businesses happen, and they stick to their vision and they go really all out for what they believe in. You want to see that kind of thing happen within the black community, where there's a little bit more forward movement together. We have a lot of movement individually, you know what I mean? And I think it comes from like, dag, if we all go in this together and it all gets wiped out, we're all wiped out. Rather than if we all go in this together and something happens, we're all standing on each other to help each other.
Us as a people, we don't stick together as much as we should stick together. Like, there should be black Wall Streets all over the place. There should be a black community. You know, the projects should be a place where people kill to go live because it's so nice.
You know, just in my building, I didn't have my key downstairs. Well, to be honest, I don't have a key downstairs. Key costs $25, I'm, you know, trying to eat. So I ring the bell of my neighbor. It's an African family. And she said, you know, have your key? Then you know, come in. And I'm like, it's 3 in the morning. I have a key to the house. I just don't have the downstairs key. So she didn't buzz me in. And she didn't buzz me in. And the funniest thing happened. She needed me to buzz her in. And I did it. Because I know the laws of karma will turn around and bite you. You know what I'm saying? I could have been mean, and I know she got the baby in the stroller, she got the baby in the thing up here, and it's like, I'm not gonna do that. So when she saw me, when she opened the elevator, she said, thank you. And I'm saying, that's it. That's all we gotta do is look out for each other. If we come together as blacks over here and get with the blacks, the Africans over there, and then we bring in the Bloods and the Crips and the Muslims and the this and the that, and then now we are all together.
You see a lot of nepotism in hip hop these days. Like, you have an artist and they're employing their entire crew. And a lot of people, one of the things that I have conversations about a lot is, oh my God, I can't believe, you know, so-and-so is the manager for this artist, or so-and-so is heading up this label. I remember when they were driving that artist's car. Or I remember, you know, when they were going and getting the cheese doodles in the studio. It's funny because now you see them in these major positions, and hip hop has done a really good job of spreading the wealth. And I think when we do that, we show how powerful we are.
If 50 Cent got arrested and Yayo and all the one got arrested, I can guarantee you, oh, 50 said you did it. Oh, okay. You gonna let that guy do it? Well, that's what you said he said. What I'm gonna do? Because there's a nepotism going between that. You know what I'm saying? And when you look at other, and I analyze things because I am in the music video business, and I've directed 150 music videos, so I had an opportunity to work with a lot of people in different camps. And I can tell you, sitting here today, the only camp that I've ever worked with and I've seen that nepotism with is them. And the reason why I say it, and like I was saying earlier, there's not a guy in there that have to worry about feeding their kid. You go to other camps, and they might have 10 artists, but there's only 2 artists, or maybe 1 artist, and the owner of the label that's living. They got a place to lay their head and eat and stuff like that. But if they read that same, if they went and researched that history in Oklahoma, it'd be different. See, Russell Simmons has nepotism. Because if he didn't, it'd be less black people. You understand, when he started Def Jam,